12 popular greens powders were just confirmed over California's legal lead limit by 2 separate labs. Almost none carried the warning the law requires. Greens powders concentrate dozens of crops into one scoop. The soil's lead comes with them, and proprietary blends hide the rest. By the end of this video, the 6 greens products to stop buying, including the famous scoop your favorite podcast sells you every morning, and the 3 answers doctors actually trust. Number 6, Bloom Greens and Superfoods. This is the pretty tub, the one that took over social media and then every Target and Walmart shelf in America. Flip it over and count. More than 30 ingredients packed into one small scoop, hidden inside proprietary blends that never tell you the dose of anything. Do the math on that. When 30+ ingredients share a few grams, most of them are present at a sprinkle, amounts far below what any study ever used. The industry has a name for it: fairy dusting. The label gets to list the impressive ingredient. You just do not get enough of it to matter. The difference is the ingredient list, not the ingredient dose. Number 5, balance of nature. If you watch cable news, you know this one. The red and green capsules, the fruits and vegetables in a capsule promise, the happy customers. Now here is what the commercials never mention. The FDA sent Balance of Nature a warning letter over illegal disease claims. In 2023, a federal court ordered the company to stop production and sales until it came into compliance with manufacturing rules. A court had to step in. On top of that, independent reviewers have questioned whether a few capsules can possibly contain the servings of produce. The marketing implies a serving of vegetables does not fit in a capsule. Notice who those commercials run for. They air on the channels people over 60 actually watch, selling the dream of replacing the vegetables your doctor keeps asking about with 6 easy capsules. The dream is the product. The difference is the commercial, not the compliance record. Number 4, the Amazon no-name greens powders. The wall of cheap 5-star super greens tubs from brands you have never heard of. This is where that lab finding from the open came from. 12 popular mixed greens tubs were confirmed over the lead limit by 2 separate labs. Most sold with no warning printed anywhere. Greens crops pull lead out of the soil. Cheap sourcing pulls it out of the cheapest soil on Earth. And no third-party testing means nobody stops the tub from shipping. The 5 stars measure the flavor. They do not measure the metal. The difference is the price, not the soil. Before the top 3, here are 3 tests for any greens powder in any store in 15 seconds. Plus the one honest truth this entire aisle is built to hide. Test 1. Look for real third-party testing, an NSF or USP mark, or a published certificate of analysis for heavy metals. Greens powders are concentrated crops, so the lead question is not paranoid, it is the first question. Test 2, no proprietary blends. If the label does not show you the milligrams of every ingredient, assume the impressive ones are fairy dust. A brand that did the dosing right would be bragging about it. Test 3, check the fiber line. A real serving of vegetables carries fiber, and most greens scoops contain 1 or 2 grams against the 25 to 30 grams your body needs in a day. And that is the honest truth. A greens powder is not vegetables. It cannot replace them. A scoop is, at best, an expensive insurance policy on top of a decent diet. And at worst, it is lead-dusted marketing. So before you spend $40 to $100 a month on a green scoop, ask the only question that matters. Would this money do more in the produce aisle? Because for almost everyone watching this, the answer is yes, and the supplement industry has spent millions making sure you never ask it. If this is changing how you read a label, subscribe. We read every label, so you do not have to. Number 3, Live It Up Super Greens. This one earned its spot the hard way. In January 2026, the FDA warned consumers not to use Live It Up Super Greens in 2 flavors because the product was linked to a multi-state outbreak of salmonella. Not a dosing trick, not a marketing exaggeration. A federal do not consume warning on a product sold as a health upgrade. Bottles with the affected dates can still be sitting in cabinets right now because most people never hear about supplement warnings at all. Check your tub. The difference is the wellness branding, not the safety record. Number 2, the spirulina and chlorella detox products. The deep green algae pills and powders sold as Nature's Cleanse. 2 problems the labels never mention. First, contamination. In independent testing, the majority of spirulina products that failed lead screening were tied to cheap offshore sourcing, some exceeding the safety limit several times over with no warning printed. Second, and this one matters for this audience, spirulina, chlorella, and alfalfa have been reported to trigger or worsen autoimmune conditions like lupus in susceptible people because they stimulate the immune system. That is the opposite of what someone managing an autoimmune condition wants from a detox. You are buying a cleanse. You may be swallowing a flare. The difference is the detox story, not the immune reality. Number 1, and you already know which scoop this is. A G1, the famous greens powder that runs up to $99 a month, sold to you by every podcaster you trust. And let me be fair first, because this is not a scam story. A G1 is a real company with real quality control, and the product carries NSF certification. But here is what the ads will never read out loud. When an independent lab bought AG1 and tested it, they measured 2.1 micrograms of lead in a single daily scoop. That level was high enough that the reviewer said children and pregnant women should avoid regular use, and high enough that in California this category carries a Prop 65 warning. And the company's own product specification allows more than double that amount. A G1 has since updated its formula, but those lead numbers came from an outside lab, never from the company itself, and the new label still keeps its doses inside proprietary blends. Then look at what the 75 ingredients actually deliver. Vitamin C at over 4 times your daily need, biotin at 11 times. Cheap vitamins are poured in, while calcium, magnesium, and potassium, the minerals that cost real money, sit at 10% or less. And the doses of most of the exotic ingredients are hidden in proprietary blends. So you are paying up to $99 a month, close to $1,200 a year at full price, for an expensive multivitamin, a lead number you were never told about, and a blend you are not allowed to inspect. And the reason you never questioned it is the same reason it works. The recommendation did not come from a commercial. It came from a voice you spend hours with every week, a voice you trust, like a friend. That is not an accident. That is the most expensive advertising model in podcasting, and you are the one funding it, one scoop at a time. The difference is the podcast, not the proof. 6 products, 1 pattern, doses hidden in blends, lead riding in from cheap soil, a court order, a salmonella outbreak, and the most trusted scoop in America, quietly carrying the most uncomfortable lab number of all. So what do doctors actually trust? 3 answers, and the first one costs less than $1. Number 3, frozen vegetables. I am completely serious, and this is the most important 60 seconds in this video. A bag of frozen spinach costs about $1 and gives you actual fiber, actual minerals, and actual vegetables. The thing every greens powder is pretending to be. Frozen produce is picked ripe and flash frozen, so the nutrients hold up. There is no proprietary blend in a bag of spinach. No. Proposition 65 question. No subscription. Run the month math one time. 30 days of frozen vegetables cost less than 1/3 of the famous green scoop and delivers the one thing no powder on this list contains in any meaningful amount, which is fiber. Every doctor and every dietitian on earth will tell you the same thing. No powder has ever matched the evidence behind eating actual vegetables. The difference is the produce aisle, not the powder aisle. Number 2, a USP verified multivitamin. Here is the open secret about the famous green scoops. Strip away the marketing, and what you can actually verify in them is mostly a multivitamin. So buy the verified version, a USP verified daily multivitamin from a brand like Nature Made covers the vitamin layer for around 10 cents a day, with an independent organization confirming the doses are real and the tablet is not contaminated. That is the honest replacement for most of what the $99 scoop does, at roughly 1/30 of the price. The difference is the verification, not the vibes. Number 1, and if you still want a true greens powder, this is the one. Thorn Daily Greens Plus. Here's why it earns the top spot, and it is the exact opposite of everything on the avoid list. Every single ingredient amount is printed on the label. No proprietary blends anywhere. Their words, by design. It is third-party tested and certified, made by the company that partners with the Mayo Clinic and supplies more than 100 professional sports teams, and it is sold in the Mayo Clinic's own store. The greens, the mushrooms, the adaptogens, every dose is disclosed, so for the first time in this video, you can actually check the science yourself. And yes, it contains spirulina, the ingredient we flagged earlier. The honest distinction is that here, the dose is printed and the product is tested for heavy metals. Though, if you have an autoimmune condition, the caution from earlier applies to any spirulina, including this one. That is what trust is supposed to look like. Not a podcast ad, a label with nothing to hide. The difference is the transparency, not the marketing. The people spending the most in this aisle are not lazy. They are the ones trying hardest. The people who know they should eat better, who want one scoop to close the gap, who heard a voice they trusted say, "This is the one thing I take every day." And they paid premium prices for hidden doses, courtroom compliance records, and lead numbers nobody read out loud. The truth was never in the podcast read. It was on the back of the label, in the blends with no amounts, the warnings that were missing, and the fiber line that said 1 gram. The people who do not get fooled flipped the tub over once, looked for disclosed doses and a real test, and remembered the oldest rule in nutrition. If it has to hide the amounts, it is not confident in the amounts. They're loyal to the label, not the legend. If you use a greens powder, drop it in the comments, the brand, the price per month, and whether your label shows real doses or a proprietary blend. Your answer is the next person's research. If you missed our breakdowns on the protein powders and fish oil brands that failed lab tests, they are linked below. Same standard, different scoop. Subscribe if you have not. This channel follows the molecule, not the marketing.